It was a crisp autumn evening when Clara found herself standing at a literal crossroads, both in her life and on the dusty country road stretching out in front of her. She had never imagined her life would come to this moment, but here she was, staring down two diverging paths that represented two entirely different futures. Clara had always been a planner. She had mapped out her life, down to the smallest detail. Graduate from college, get a job at a prestigious law firm, marry her high school sweetheart, and eventually raise a family. Everything seemed perfect until it wasn't. It had all started to unravel when Clara's fiancé, Daniel, confessed that he wasn't sure if he wanted to get married. They had been together for nearly a decade, but now, weeks before their wedding, Daniel's sudden uncertainty shook Clara to her core. It was as if the foundation of her carefully constructed life had been shattered in a single conversation. The decision to postpone the wedding was mutual, but it left Clara feeling lost. For the first time in her life, she didn't have a clear path forward. What was supposed to be the happiest time of her life had become a source of endless anxiety. She couldn't focus at work, she stopped seeing friends, and her relationship with Daniel was strained beyond recognition. They agreed to take a break, giving each other space to figure out what they really wanted. Needing an escape, Clara packed a bag and decided to take a road trip. She didn't have a specific destination in mind, she just needed to get away. After driving aimlessly for hours, she found herself in a small rural town with no name on the sign, only the crossroads she now stood at. To her left, the road led to the town itself, a quaint place with old-fashioned storefronts, rustic homes, and the smell of fresh bread wafting through the air. The road was welcoming, like it held a promise of simplicity and peace, a place where life could be slower and perhaps kinder. To her right, the road led to the highway, the path back to the life she had left behind. The hustle and bustle of the city, her demanding job, and the unresolved questions about her relationship with Daniel awaited her down that path. It was the life she knew, the life she had worked so hard for, yet it felt distant and uninviting now. Clara stood there for what felt like an eternity, the cool breeze tugging at her coat, as she contemplated the two choices. Each road symbolized something far greater than just a direction on a map. One led to a familiar life, full of responsibility, ambition, and societal expectations. The other led to the unknown, where she could redefine herself, free from the pressures that had once dictated her every move. As she stood at the crossroads, memories flooded her mind. She thought about the time she and Daniel had first met, back when everything seemed effortless and full of promise.